What's up, you guys? It's Mother Paige here, and it's another day's journey. I'm okay. How are you? All right, you guys. So I know it's been a couple days. Today is, December the 12th. And so I have not vlogged since Sunday. No, actually, I haven't vlogged since Saturday, which was the nail challenge one. So I'm going to link it below. But I have missed Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'm going to be explaining today where I have been. I am so sorry, you guys. I literally tried. I told myself I'm gonna vlog every day, but I forgot one little thing. I forgot. Your girl got lupus, so it's kind of hard to go day from day, you know? Been gone for 3 days, and like I said, I apologize for that. So today's explanation, Vlogmas day 12, is where the heck you been? So I've mentioned in some clips prior to this video that I have lupus, and so that's the problem, and that's kind of the issue about where I've been the last 3 days. Okay, so I have lupus. I've had it for about 6 years now. 6. And so I'm going to be explaining what happened this weekend, what happened part of last week that led to this whole, contributed to this whole ordeal about where I've been. So I told you guys last week, I think like 2 videos ago, that I had hit my head on one of the light fixtures in our kitchen. And I had a consistent headache every day since then. And so I had the headache Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I was like, what's going on? Do I have a concussion? What? You know, I had a lot of stuff going on. I already have a bunch of brain problems, so brain fogs and stuff. So I was like, I need to figure this out. So I was going to vlog on Sunday, but I got out of work and I had to take care of some other business that I had to go look into. And then I started to feel really ill, like ill. And so I had totally forgot that I had to have an infusion come Monday. And so that's why I didn't vlog yesterday. So I've been just under the weather, okay? I'm so sorry. But today's vlog is basically a short video. I cannot get into in-depth about what lupus is in this 10-minute video, and I don't want to make it longer than that. So I'll do increments throughout this journey. Today, I'm going to start out with what is lupus? Like, what is it? Lupus is an autoimmune disease, and it affects your skin, your joints, your brain, your kidneys, your heart, your blood, and it causes inflammation and, you know, tissue damage, all of the above, okay? It's just crazy. So there are 2 types of lupus. You have systemic lupus and you have discoid lupus. So systemic lupus is the lupus that attacks, like, you know, your joints, your organs, your skin, all that, you know. And the discoid, it basically attacks people's skin, so they get like the rashes, the butterfly rashes, and you'll see like people that have those red rashes underneath their eyes, and they have like skin discoloration, all of that. So honestly, I have a combination of the both. So as you can imagine, it's kind of crazy, right? So they still don't know what causes lupus. There is no cure for it. All they can do for us, well, the people who have it, is give us medication and treatment and, you know, infusions and things like that to kind of help better cope and deal with. They do have tips that they give that can help manage lupus better, and it benefits for some people and some people it doesn't. So I know people who have changed their entire diet and they're perfectly fine. They still go through the treatment because you have to take those things in order to live. Some people go the holistic way to where they're just on the natural remedies to get better. Me, I like to stick with the traditional just because just because that's just me. I feel like, why not? I know it's really expensive, the traditional way. When you're going to the doctor, you get the treatments and stuff like that. I mean, I have tried for maybe a day or 2 to go the holistic way, and it's just not my thing. Not knocking people who do it, that's their niche. I just prefer the traditional way. Traditional way has worked for me. I don't like either way. I don't like to have the disease, but if I had to choose, which I've chosen the traditional way. I have looked into holistic before, but it's just not something, I'm not disciplined enough, and I know myself, so I just rather go to the doctor and get the treatments and take the medication they give. Although the medication and the treatments are harsh on your body, yeah, I'm not as disciplined as some to do the holistic way. I'm just not. There's a bunch of underlying conditions and diseases that come along with lupus. Heart disease, you get seizures, you get brain problems, cancer, MS, blood disease, blood clots, all that. We go through all of that, okay? So I'm pretty sure if people with lupus come across this video, and I have a bunch of lupus followers on my social media like Instagram and Facebook. I'm involved in this lupus blog online. So we can tell you that it's terrible. It's a hard journey, a very, very hard journey. Please believe that. But I don't let it stop me. And I know a lot of people that don't let it stop them as well. It's like some days you'll wake up and you'll feel perfectly fine. Like you're gonna always have pain, but you're like, oh, I got this day. And then 30 minutes to an hour later, you feel like death warmed over. Like it's so unpredictable to the point to where you can't really plan a day. You can't plan much because you just never know how your body's going to react. So you just have to go for it. You know what I mean? You just have to take each day as it comes and just, you know, live your life to the best of your ability. But you have to have a good support system. I have a great support system. I have a great team of doctors, from my primary care physician to my rheumatologist to the physical therapist, nurses and nephrologists who help us with our kidneys and things like that. So you have to have a good team, and you have to be honest with your team as well. You can't just be like, I'm fine, and then something's wrong. You don't tell them till the last minute, and then you got to go through all this stuff to fix the problem. That was me. I have a problem with saying something's wrong with me. I like to deal with things inwardly, which is not good. So don't do that, okay? So I would go days in a lot of pain. I would go days when I get a new symptom and I don't say something, and then we go to the doctor and it's a whole problem. Like that happened to me 3 months ago, and that's a whole nother video. So your girl was down for like a month, but that's because I didn't say nothing at first. But I learned my lesson, so I won't be doing that again. Here's a little bit of my story in the beginning. I only can do the intro because, like I said, this is so complex. It'll be like an hour's worth video. So I'm gonna start out with today, which is how I got lupus and how I found out and things like that. And then as our time goes on throughout the year or whenever, I'll do a more in-depth video. So I was diagnosed with lupus back in 2012, although I was exhibiting symptoms prior to that, like in my high school years and, you know, things like that. The symptoms that I had in the beginning were that, honestly, I would be so tired all the time and I could not understand why. I would get like sleep. Now, I wasn't getting a lot of sleep because, you know, your girl was a church kid, you know, and church guy rehearsals 6-7 times a week, school, all that. So I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. I was just feeling really tired, like lethargic feeling. I would have a lot of pain in my joints, in my muscles. I ran track in high school, and so that's when I really started to notice that something really wasn't right. Even my coaches would be like, you know, are you okay? I did long jump, and so like I would notice that at first I thought that it was because I had a very rigorous training for track at my old school. My track coach, shout out to him. He was a boxer, so he kind of incorporated his training into us. So at first I would think that, you know, the pain and all that I had was contributing to that. But once I figured out that it was lupus, then it made a lot of sense. So I would just wake up in the mornings and I would feel so tired. I would have a bunch of pain to where it would be impossible sometimes for me to like move, but I would hide it so good. To this day, I can still, like right now, it's day 12 of Vlogmas and I'm in a lot of pain, and y'all wouldn't even know. That's because I'm a pro at this. I'm not new to this. And so basically, I would feel sick all the time. I would constantly have migraines, headaches. I was really thin. You think I'm thin? No, I was thin, okay? I was losing a lot of weight. After I graduated, I did notice that my body just felt a little bit different. So I hadn't gone to the doctor to really figure out what the problem was. Although I was going to the doctor, you know, my regularly scheduled visits, I didn't get checked like I should have gotten checked. And had I gotten checked and had I had the proper treatment way back like high school, I wouldn't have been as sick as I got. So moving forward, this had to be the Thanksgiving of 2011. So it was Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I went shopping with my auntie, and we were at the mall. So we'll go shopping like the midnight of Thanksgiving, and so I had woke up and I wasn't feeling all that good, and so I still wanted to go shopping, you know? So we were at the mall and I was feeling like weak, I was feeling nauseated, and my chest was like hurting really bad. So I had told her, I was like, I'm not feeling all that good, but I still want to go, So we went, I fell asleep in the car, and so upon us shopping, I started to get worse and worse and worse. I started to feel literally like I was dying. So I was like, I gotta sit down for a second. And I sat down after hours of shopping, and my heart, it just felt like I was gonna faint. And so my heart was racing really fast. I couldn't catch my breath. I was in a lot of pain, etc., etc., etc. So she sent us to go get the car while she waited for us to come back to put everything into the car. And then I ended up passing out in the parking lot and having a seizure. She comes rushing to try to figure out what's going on. And like I said, we are a lot of prankers. So at first she thought we were joking, but we weren't. I was literally having a real seizure. So she called 911. The paramedics came. At first I was a little bit unresponsive, and then they got me to respond. I got to the hospital. They did a workup and all that. And so my blood pressure at that time was extremely low. And they were doing a bunch of tests to try to figure out what was the matter. I had to do that sit down and stand. And so I ended up having to stay there. It was like the whole night. And so the next day I got up, I still was sick. They sent me home. And so I had to follow up with my primary doctor the following week or so. And so we were doing a bunch of tests. I had to take a titter test. That's the test that pretty much determines if you have lupus or not. They did a titter test. They did a white blood cell count test, a complete blood count test. They did all these tests that's required to figure out if you have lupus or not. For some people, it takes a long time to get the results back. For me, it was right away. So that following month, when I was going back and forth to the doctor, and so I will never forget, January 5th, 2012, I went and she told me, yeah, pretty much, you've got lupus. My white blood cells at that time were extremely messed up, like deadly, okay? So your girl was messed up. And I wouldn't have gotten to that point had I had the proper treatment prior, but I wasn't aware that it was lupus at that time. So when they told me I was diagnosed, I was like devastated. I was so mad. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and be like, oh, I was trusting in the Lord, and I was really upset. I was upset for a couple weeks, and then I finally came to grips with it that this is something that I would have to deal with. I was already too far sick. So I had to start treatments right away. They did start me out in prednisone and Flexerol because I had a lot of swelling. My face would change. Like, there would be moments we'd be sitting in the living room, and then my face would just turn pure black, my lips black, all that. The discoloration, I was in a lot of pain all the time. It sort of kind of felt like, well, still do to this day, feels like you have the flu every single day. So that's what I was feeling like. And so once my blood cells weren't cooperating and my blood and everything was just messed up, I had to start treatment, which was chemo. So that's my first round of chemo. My first round of chemo was terrible. Like, your girl thought I was dying. Pretty much, I've become a pro at the treatment thing. Like I said, I'm making this really fast because I don't want to draw it out, but I'll do another in-depth video. I mean, it's too much to tell in the little moments that we have right now. So after the first round of chemo, I had to do another round of chemo. Then I started on the infusions, and then, you know, more treatment and more treatment, and pretty much you just go through treatment for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's why you guys see. One day I'm gonna do a before and after when I had hair, when I don't have hair. Right now I have a little bit of hair, and you guys will see me pure bald. There's times where I'm gonna be bald from treatment, like baby butt bald. I'm not gonna have no eyebrows, all that. So yeah, your girl Been through a lot, but you know what? You take that, you learn from it, and you just keep it moving. I went through a moment of pity to where I was so upset. You lose a lot. You lose a lot of your strength. You're weak all the time. Your hair, your outer appearance changes a lot from day to day. So you go through a lot with lupus, but lupus literally has taught me a lot about myself. I found out that just how strong I really am to go day by day. Dealing with this, like this morning was the legit struggle. 2 days after treatment is like the day of treatment, you might as well forget it. Well, for me, most days I'm just really nauseated and I just can't really function that good. Some days I can. I try to still keep it moving. Because I like to keep it moving. I don't like to sit and dwell in the sickness, so I try to keep moving. The second day, like yesterday, I was not feeling good at all. I tried to work and I was like, girl, what are you doing? So I had to get off. And today I feel a little bit better. I mean, I'm gonna feel sick every day. I don't recall a day I don't have pain. If I ever wake up and I don't have pain to some extent, I think I'd be like, am I dead? Like, all we can do is hope. All we can do is keep praying. All we can do is just keep it moving from day to day. I don't let this disease stop me at all. I still live my life. At least try to. I mean, there's things that obviously you can't do. When you have lupus, you're limited to a lot because of your restrictions. Like, I don't really have an immune system basically, so I can't be any and everywhere, and I don't like wearing the mask a lot of places. So if I'm going to be around a huge crowd, I do have to wear a mask, but pretty much I try to keep it moving. I try to live life as best as I can, because tomorrow is not promised to people, especially with lupus, any disease, cancer, lupus, MS, whatever, all immune diseases. Life is not promised to anybody. You don't even have to be sick. So you just have to live in the moment and just appreciate life in that moment, because so many people die. So many people don't wake up, you know, from day to day. And so if you're alive, just take that moment, no matter if you're sick like me or if you're not. You just have to keep it moving. So that's where I've been, you guys, under the weather with lupus. That was a little description of what lupus is. If you guys want an in-depth video of my journey with lupus, like going through the treatments and the process of figuring out if you have lupus or not, just comment down below and I will do an in-depth video. Like I said, it's too much to talk about in one video. It's so much that goes into it. And so I'm going to do a process of the years, all the stuff I've had to go through with this disease, like up until like a couple months ago. You guys have no idea, okay? So it's a lot to go into, and trust me, I will keep you guys updated on that and do a full video on that. Well, that's where I've been, so let's just keep it moving. Today, tomorrow, Vlogmas. I'm going to continue to do Vlogmas. I have a bunch of things planned. Like I said, I had to take a couple days because I had to get my body and my health in check. But I'm doing better. I'm getting better. So, yeah. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Paige loves you.